Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to do something that I have never done before. Today I'm going to make a video talking exclusively about Age of Sigmar and my most favorite miniature in the range yet, the new Reclusians. And how I went from actually not liking the Stormcast Eternals to now liking them quite a lot. And I have to say that this for me is super funny because, as I said, I actually never really liked the Stormcast Eternals in general. I mean, I like them a lot in the lore. For example, during the trailer of 4th edition of Age of Sigmar, we were able to see how this city was under attack, and then they ring the bells, and then we can see all the lightnings coming from the sky, and we can see the Stormcast arriving like in that awesome way, and they're like there ready to start and join the battle, and it's like, oh my god, that's awesome, that looks great, I really like what I'm seeing here. And it's not only the visuals of things like that, it's also the concept, these great heroes of mankind that they die in battle, so Sigmar just takes their souls, reforges them and sends them back to fight, so now they are bigger, stronger, better warriors, but they're losing part of their humanity while doing so, so that's a really nice, cool looking concept. But I never really liked the miniatures in general. I was never into them that much. I have to say that I liked the new ones that came with the previous edition. Like, for example, I really like how the Vindictors look. I painted one recently here and I had a lot of fun doing so, and I like how they changed the range to have them like being a little bit bigger, because like this it feels better into the true scale, I think, and it's also like they have like better body proportions. I like more the armor, but this is a personal preference, okay? I know that there's people that like more how they used to look at the beginning, more like chunky, but I prefer the new ones that are coming out, to be honest. And still I'm quite sad because they removed from the range all those old miniatures. I think that it's not a nice precedent, because of course if they can remove miniatures that they are just a few years old, that's not nice for the hobby, I think. It is also funny that I'm aware of Age of Sigmar. I follow Warhammer in social media, so even if I'm more like a 40k player and collector, of course I know what's going on with Age of Sigmar, and during this time I have seen like a very beautiful new miniatures that I really like. Like, for example, I love what they did with the Seraphon, or I love what they did with the Cities of Sigmar. I love what they did with the Flesh Eater courts, and I can continue with this. Like, for example, this Lord Relictor with the dragon, that was awesome as well. So I have been seeing that they are releasing miniatures that I think that they are quite good and they are fantastic, but still they didn't like catch me like my interest that much to get into it deeply. But still, I always had this thought of, okay, if one day I will decide to get some Age of Sigmar miniatures, just because I would like to have this fun experience of assembling them, painting them, and maybe play some small game, I never thought that I will choose the Stormcast Eternals, because I didn't really like them, to be honest. I didn't like half of the range of the miniatures, well, more than half of the range, because the range of miniatures is huge and that's not good all the time. And I have never been a big fan of the golden armor. I mean, I know that I can paint that armor in whatever way that I want. When I painted my Stormcast Eternals, I decided to go for silver armor, and I think that it looks quite nice. But, you know, it's like this first impression. When I think about Stormcast Eternal, I think about golden armor, because that's what I see everywhere. They are like the poster boys until now, so that I had this image of them, and as I said, I never really liked them that much until now. When Games Workshop started the new revealings of the new edition of Age of Sigmar, they started with the new Liberator, and when I saw that miniature, I was happy with what I was seeing right there, because I liked much more that style of miniature. And I have to say that for me, visually, because of course it's like food, it's more appealing when it looks nice, right? For me, personal preference, they look much better in this specific color scheme from the Hollow Knights. I like that one much more than the golden armor. So I saw this and I was like, okay, this is starting to look very interesting. But then I saw the miniatures, I saw the new Reclusians, and at that moment I fell in love. I think that they look awesome, and since the moment that I saw them I was like, okay, I'm going to forget everything. I don't know if one day I said that I didn't like the Stormcast Eternals, I'm going to forget about that. I love Stormcast Eternals starting right now because these miniatures look fantastic. Especially after seeing the new Liberator, that it has like this simplicity on it. It's like this basic armor with just a weapon and a shield. And then you compare it with these new Reclusians. There's so many things going on here. There's so much detail that I don't know where to start talking about them. The armor looks quite heavy, it looks menacing, it has a lot of presence because, for example, when I look at the Liberators, I consider that armor to be even elegant. It's like an armor that you can put in display in some castle, in the corridors of a castle. It will look very pretty and quite nice. You can identify that person wearing that armor as the good guy. But in the case of the Reclusians, that armor, it looks quite menacing. It has a strong presence and I like that. The edges are not that round. I mean, look at those helmets, okay? If the regular Stormcast Eternal has like this poker face, let's say lacking expressions, here we have a helmet that has like an angry face. It looks like it's angry and it's coming for you. I love that detail. They look very menacing. And I can continue until tomorrow. I love all those seals in the armor. Of course it makes them look much more better and like they have been through a lot and they look super elite. I love the capes. I really like the weapons as well because we have this. For example, if we look at this one right here, he has two axes and we can see that the axes, they have like these runes and they are quite big. Well, all the weapons in the Stormcast Eternals are a little bit oversized, I think. But in this case, those runes make them look much better. They look great. It's like there's so much detail, there's so many things going on there. Now we can take a look at this one that has the axe and the shield, and again it's a huge shield, and then we have the axe with the runes again. That I love those details. They look fantastic. I'm really in love with these miniatures. Everything about them, it's noticeable. If you put them on the battlefield, I'm sure that you're going to notice them. They are going to be very eye-catching and they are going to have like a big presence, even if it's just 3 miniatures plus the 2 humans that are with them. I will talk about those right now, but as I said, they look fantastic. I really like what they did with these miniatures. I really like the vibe, I like the concept, and I think that it's like an amazing job. I cannot wait to see them in person. I like that in the unit we have regular humans, because like this it's much easier to know exactly how big and strong looking the strong presence of the Stormcast Eternals is, because usually when you set Stormcast Eternals and they are like their own army, they just look like humans, right? If you put a normal human next to them, you can clearly see the difference, and that's something quite nice. I like this kind of concept, and I have to say that I cannot talk too much about the one with the smoke. I think that one looks good, but it's just a human with smoke. And of course I would like to talk about the other one. I would like to talk about this one with the banner on fire, because this one reminds me of the cultists of 40k, because when I look at this one with the banner and the fire and everything, it's like, are these the good guys? Because I can see these 3 big guys that they look super angry, they have like a super menacing presence, and then I see one next to them with smoke, and then I see another human next to them with a banner on fire. I love everything about this unit. I really like how it looks. And as I said previously, I also think that it was very good from Games Workshop to decide to use the Hollowed Knights as the color scheme for this edition, because I think that it looks much better. But as I said, this is my personal preference. This is not something that it's the universal truth, so of course there's people that maybe they will like the usual red and gold, but from my perspective, I think that this specific color scheme also made me like them much more. And that's it. That's how I went from, okay, I like the range of miniatures in Age of Sigmar overall, but I don't really like the Stormcast Eternals because I don't like the range of miniatures that they have and I don't like their sculpts. As I said, personal preference. To being in love with their miniatures, and actually if one day I decide to get an Age of Sigmar army, probably it will start with this gentleman, and they will be the ones that we will have to blame, or at least I should blame. But as I said, I'm happy to see miniatures that look fantastic, and of course I like a lot what I see here. And of course, always you're welcome to let me know in the comments what you think about the new Reclusians or the range of miniatures of Age of Sigmar. I just know the miniatures, so of course I don't know much about the game or overall in general, but I can say that I really like what I see here. And at the moment of making this video, the launch box of 4th edition of Age of Sigmar is not revealed even, and I'm a little bit scared that there will be more miniatures there that I will like. I'm scared of that actually, to be honest, but hopefully for everyone the miniatures will look fantastic, so let's wait and see what will be there. And of course, with all of this being said, I just wanted to share why I like this specific miniature so much and how I changed my opinion over the Age of Sigmar miniatures, and I just wanted to share with all of you this my thoughts, let's say. And with all of this being said, this is the end of the video, so of course, as usual, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.